Welcome to Season 2 of the Paper Talk podcast, where we have candid conversations with artists and industry leaders from around the world. Our goal is to share knowledge, connect our community, and elevate the artistry of our craft. Hi, I'm Jessie Chu.
Hello, I am Quinn Nguyen, and we are the founders of the Paper Florist Collective.
Welcome, everyone. Today is episode 42, and we have on our show today Mike Benson of Carte Fini, our favorite paper flower friend. Hi, Mike.
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Hello. Thank you.
So I'm not joking when I'm saying that you are our favorite paper flower friend, because I feel like we are talking to you on a regular basis about everything. Not only about paper flowers, but our businesses, new lines that are coming in, new things that are showing up on your website, like tutorials. I mean, you support so many of us in the community.
Yes, so many.
We are so thankful for all of your support and encouragement, really. But today we want to talk about you and your company and your new line of crepe paper that you're launching, the 90 gram. I've seen a couple of people on Instagram making beautiful flowers using your 90 gram, and everyone's been asking about it. How do we get our hands on it? What colors are available? When can we buy it?
Well, thanks, Jessie. I appreciate you and Quinn having me on the program again. I think it's a great platform for information about what's going on in the crafting, artist community, paper flowers, everything, and appreciate your kind words about our company and our interactions. I agree. We talk quite a bit and I get a lot out of it. And I think our visitors and customers get a lot out of the information that's disseminated over these types of platforms. As far as the 90 gram, yes, we're really excited about that. In fact, I visited my supplier, Cardotecnica Rossi, and that is the manufacturer of the 90 gram, as well as most of the paper that we offer on our site. The 180 gram, it's always been kind of the bread and butter, the heavyweight crepe, 60 gram, even on 140, which is smaller line, but those are designed to be water resistant. But the 90 gram is brand new. The Cardotecnica Rossi introduced it Paper World this year. And it was a surprise. I went and visited them last October, and they told me about this new product that they were developing. The 90 gram, really a mid-weight, I would say. I think you would agree, a mid-weight crepe paper. We have the 180, which is a heavyweight. We introduced the 60 gram, a very lightweight crepe 2 years ago, which also does very well. The 90 gram, though, is really a great addition, I think, especially for artists like yourself that are constantly looking for new materials to create with. 90 gram has some very specific characteristics of its own that make it very unique. I know I sent out some of the 90 gram paper to a few of our artists that we really admire. I think you were a couple of them.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
I know. We love them.
Yes, and these initial reviews and thoughts on them, and really get your hands on them and give me your thoughts. Cardotecnica Rossi wanted us to do that as well, just to get an idea of were they going in the right direction with these types of this type of paper. In other words, was it the right weight? Was it the right feel, the stretchiness, everything? In fact, maybe you could tell me about you've already used it a little bit. Tell me your impression.
I love it. It has such good ruffly effect to it.
Ruffly, now that's an industry term.
Yes, it really is. But I would say it has such a delicacy, but there's a strongness to it that's really, really interesting to me. Great stretching capability, but it still has its integrity to give you that beautiful ruffly edge. It's great to miter and wire. It has a beautiful floatiness that you can't get with some of the other paper, which I find really interesting, especially with the double-sided German paper. That one's heavier, of course, and it has better strength. But if you want, if you're doing a lot of different petals, for example, the garden roses, that particular rose has over 100 petals, and it's just a perfect medium to create 120 petals easily without making it look heavy. It just has this delicacy that I just can't really explain, but when you see it, it's just so nice to work with. I really like it. And it absorbs colors much easier than some of the other mediums.
Yeah, it is. It's been really fun to kind of experiment with it. At first, to be honest, I didn't really know what to do with it. I was like, well, how do I incorporate this into my, established repertoire of papers? But I don't know if you saw, I've been making pansies with them.
Yes, so beautiful.
It was the first thing I thought about because of the ruffle ability. And when you say ruffle, really it's just the ability of the grain lines to flute a certain way or to move a certain way because of how tight knit those grain lines are. So when you actually expand them, there's room for you to create that kind of ruffled flutiness, frills to the edge of the paper. Yeah, I love using it. It does absorb, I think, liquids a little bit better than the 180. And that's probably because the paper is a little bit thinner, but it retains a certain transparency that's similar to the 60 gram. And I think that transparency is what makes it look so delicate. It's been a real joy to work with. I'm really looking forward to using it to build our garden roses, just because I think it can mimic some of the 60 grams quality, but at the same time also hold its shape a little bit more for the purposes of, let's say, making outer petals. I think it's just another great weight to add to everything. 60, 180, it's all beautiful. And then I was talking to you about the colors. It was so nice to see that they incorporated some of the popular Tiffany Turner colors, those muted colors, those distant drums, Coco Loco, and I think I don't know if it's peach. I think it's the peach. Those color choices are amazing.
I see that myself. I didn't expect that, and I think it was a great decision to integrate those really popular Tiffany Turner colors in there. And by the way, the things you were talking about with the those characteristics of the paper, the fluting and the ruffly, they actually designed that paper specifically with those types of things in mind, I think.
I love that. It totally comes across.
The nerdy characteristics of it is, just as a reference point, the 180 gram, they start with basically 140 or 144 gram paper, and they crepe it to the point where it has a 260% kind of stretch. They call it elongation. The 90 weight, on the other hand, starts with a 120 gram paper. The creping goes up to 500%.
That's amazing. No wonder it stretches so much. I was stretching it and stretching it. It's amazing. If you guys haven't touched it yet, make sure you order it from Carte Fini, because it's really different from the other types of crepe paper.
Yeah, it was nice that they did that, because it's not just another weight, but it has these really interesting characteristics that make it totally unique to work with for artists, crafters like you. So we're really happy with the way that they produced it and added to it. Right now we've got 12 colors, but I'm hoping for more as this continues to grow in interest. And of course, if that's the case with Cardotecnica Rossi, they will certainly support.
That's wonderful to hear. I love that. I love that your company is always expanding and you're working with a producer to create a new line, new colors. It's just an incredible partnership that you have with them.
Yeah, we're really happy. I've been working with Cardotecnica Rossi for about 10 years now. And we just think that they have amazing product, amazing quality, and they're just innovative. We're just really happy with our relationship with them.
Where are they located in Italy?
They're in Arciero, Italy. They're about an hour north or so of Venice.
Oh, wonderful.
They've got a factory that's been in operation for so long. I think it's in the 1800s, I believe.
That's amazing. How many people do they employ?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. It's a pretty good size operation, though.
Wow, that's a pretty amazing, because they send paper all over the world.
Yes, they do. They've got customers all over the world. Some of their markets are very large. There's certain European markets, obviously, that are very strong.
That's amazing. Can you run down the different colors that you have on hand that people can order?
For the 90 gram, there's 12 colors, as I mentioned. And as you mentioned, they've done a lot with the Tiffany Turner colors. Right down the line, the first one's just a pure white, number 350. Then there's kind of a cream. Then you've got a rose color.
That one's so pretty. It's just the pellets and pellets of pink.
And then kind of a peach. And that's a Tiffany Turner. Yeah. Rose, Coco Loco, another Tiffany they added. Obviously became very popular with the 180 gram. And I think it was wise for them to take those and take some of the colors and make them into the 90 gram. There's a distant drums, another Tiffany color. I'm sure you know about that one. Then there's a rose burgundy, kind of a real deep red, or I think I would call it. Another, probably a lighter color red, number 364, like a red wine, I think we call it. Then an olive. That's a Tiffany Turner color. Obviously, the greens are always really important and sought after. There's a couple of yellows. 370 is a yellow. Then there's another yellow, 372. And then finally, you've got kind of an orange-ish color, 374. So that rounds out all of those colors there. There are a couple, I should mention, that they initially sent out that we have in stock that they're actually revising the color on. A red and a yellow. Both are going to be changing somewhat. They felt like the colors were too close to the other one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And I think that's a wise choice because, obviously the two reds were pretty close. The two yellows were pretty close. They are actually revising those. I'm getting some samples, and then my replenishment that comes in probably late April is going to be those new colors. So there'll always be somebody who says, well, I like the old one, but that's possible. But hopefully the new ones will be received better for the richness of colors that they decided to go with on a go-forward basis.
So amazing. I love that. I love that you're always constantly evolving and keeping up to date with the trends and also what the customer wants. I think that's so important as you evolve your company.
I appreciate that. We do try to, part of what we do, obviously, we've got an online store to purchase, and we try to carry whatever is available at any time and then expand that if we can. We're trying to expand our selection of supplies like wire and things like that. And we look to artists like you to say, I don't want to just carry any kind. I'd like to know what it is you think the best wire, what is the best, the coloring mediums that the artists are using. And that way you can kind of come to our store, maybe see a tutorial that you've produced that has materials and these things, and you can purchase those right there.
I love it.
So if somebody was to purchase the 90 gram from your website today, would you have stock available, or do you have to wait until April?
No, we're fully in stock right now.
Okay.
The only one that we are almost out of that we couldn't get because of Cardotecnica Rossi for some reason was out of stock on it, I think is 358, and that's one of the reds or burgundies. In fact, that might be the one that they're changing. That might be the reason why they did it. They had a transitional production issue with that. Coco Loco, I believe, is the one that's going to be probably out for a couple months at least, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
But everything else,
we better order some quick.
I know.
But unless something changes, then of course we bring that in. And I don't like to be out of really anything if I can. So
yeah. How long does it take you to get the product from them when you place an order?
It takes quite a while. Most of the stuff comes by boat. So
yeah. So Mike, we are so excited to have you again involved with one of our workshops that we're going to be hosting in June, end of June 26, 27, 28 for the Garden Rose workshop. It's been really fun having that 90 gram to play around with. And we're excited to show the students the best possible way to use the 90 gram for these paper flowers. Just because you're incorporating hundreds of petals in one bloom, I think the 90 gram is absolutely perfect to create that lightness while holding so many petals in one bloom.
I'm not an artist myself, so hearing this feedback is really interesting and important. That's fascinating that it's really that many petals in that particular paper flower. And it really pleased to hear that this 90 gram seems to be working so well for that. And it sounds like, that's just one flower that you've discovered you really like using it for. And of course, there's other, I think Jessie just says she uses it for pansies. So there's another one. I imagine you keep being inspired or just have a revelation at some point, probably wake up in the middle of the night. Wait a minute, I can use it for this.
Yes, definitely. Or some sort of art medium to color certain things.
Right. So, and then all of a sudden you're creating an Instagram picture of something you've done, and then getting what paper gram you're using, what colors, then goes viral. So.
Well, I think it's the best way is how does that paper, that personality of the paper speak to you? Because then whatever you make from it comes very naturally from and arises from the characteristics of that paper. And I think 90 gram, a lot of us who have used it were able to be inspired very quickly by its personality. Yeah.
And the more you play around with it, the more ideas that comes to my head about how to utilize it. It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
That's right. And then I know that anywhere from just the beginners that have never done it before all the way to seasoned artists become inspired by what others are doing. That's kind of one of the things I love about this community is they're very supportive and share a lot, but everything becomes their own. Pretty much any artist would be, they make it their own. They have their own version. Maybe they just get inspired by an idea or even a small technique to incorporate. So really exciting to see.
And we're hoping to be able to inspire our students at this garden paper flower workshop by using 90 gram exclusively, because I think for a lot of them, it'll be the first time that they get their hands on such wonderful paper. And so we're super excited to be working with you on that again. Hopefully you can attend as well. You're just such a great personality.
I know.
I would love to see you make a flower like the masterclass. That was so cool.
Yeah.
You were so enthusiastic about it.
Flower award. So the honorable mention. So
we're going to be judging choosing some of these roses, and we would love to have you on the judging panel. I mean,
Yes.
it's your paper. We would love you to have a say in terms of, what student or teacher or whoever used the paper the best, kind of showcased your 90-gram paper, showcased the characteristics, the personalities. Yeah. So we would love to have you as a judge.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to do that.
And it's so fun. I mean, we've already chose the roses. So we're going to be doing the Miyabi, the Sabrina. So pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So exciting to see everything. And then I'll be showing people how to do the buds for the different roses. So I think that would be really fun.
Well, I'm excited to see it. This will be a great platform to showcase this new paper.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else yet you want to share? What's happening with your company, your business? Anything coming along the pipeline that we should be keeping our eyes out for?
There's a few new things coming along the line. I am bringing a new line of the DM Color spray tool, which is
yay!
Yes, and I learned about this, I believe, at one of your events, your masterclass or one of your workshops. That one of the reps was there, the marketing rep that we love, Jody. Used and evidently you and some of the others have already been using this for a while. And it's just a great way to transform some of the paper with a spray color. It's really unique. It works really well with the crepe paper and crepe paper flowers. I think you'd agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So amazing. That is so wonderful to hear because it's getting harder and harder to find these Design Master sprays if you don't have a wholesale license. You have to, Michael does have some, but I've heard that they are slowly taking it out of the market.
I heard they're reducing the line.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes it's just difficult to do things like that. But and we also want to be able to, if we're going to be showcasing this and providing tutorials, we want people to be able to get it readily on our site along with the paper that they're using. So hopefully this will be something that will allow them to either discover it or being able to acquire it easy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Quinn and I are huge fans of Design
fans.
not just because Jody and Gretchen are fantastic,
but they are,
which they are, but also because the products are just amazing on the crepe paper. It opens up the doors in terms of especially getting colors that are in between colors, or just color shifting, which is a term that they love to use. Color shifting the crepe paper color that already exists.
Exactly.
I mean, the Italian crepe paper, the colors are beautiful. I love to look I don't dye a lot of my papers. I tend to like to rely on the paper colors that come in the crepe paper because they're beautiful. But Design Master allows you to manipulate those colors very subtly.
Yeah, shift it to one shade over.
Yeah, just one shade over, and it makes your paper flowers so much more sophisticated. So I'm super excited that you're bringing that line in, because one shop stop, right? I buy my paper and I buy my Design Master. It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
I'm happy that you're excited about it. We are too. So hopefully in a couple of weeks that'll be ready. It requires a little bit of a different handling. It can only go ground, so there'll be no, priority mail or UPS overnight or anything like that. But that's just the nature of that product. It just can't be shipped other than a ground shipment. But other than that shouldn't be any kind of hindrance.
Any other new product?
Nothing right now, other than, we have obviously with the introduction of the 90-gram, Cardotecnica Rossi also introduced 8 colors of a new Tiffany Turner.
Oh, wow.
Which also have been doing really well too. In fact, there's one that I just received in that I'll be posting, and it's an ombre. It's a really pretty ombre nuanced version. So you'll be seeing that soon too.
I'm looking forward to seeing those on your website.
Yay.
She has such a good eye for color.
I know.
Does. So they work with her on and really help curate a line of colors that, from an artist's point of view, that really were either missing or needed, or a subtle change that just made sense.
Looking forward to working with those too.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. This is wonderful to hear all the different updates that you gave us, and so excited about the 90-gram. I hope our listeners get a chance to play around with it, and if they haven't, make sure you order it from Carte Fini.
You have to. Order it while it's still in stock.
Exactly.
Or else I think we're going to order it all out.
I know. Just let you guys know, the Posy Box will be getting a shipment of that, so.
There's a crate.
I know. Yeah. Sorry, you guys.
Thank you again. I appreciate you having me on, as always, and I'll look forward to the next time.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.